just on the surface level, you can look at the turnover game as a reason why we were unsuccessful today. I think we were +4 or so coming into this game. It had been a silver bullet in our pocket, if you will. But today we dropped interception opportunities. We had a fumble on the ground defensively that we did not get on, and then we turned the ball over offensively one time in the red zone.
Hi everybody, I'm Missi Matthews. Welcome to the Extra Point presented by Microsoft Surface. There you hear Coach Tomlin following the 27-24 loss in Indy to the Colts. The Steelers now move to 3-1. Let's welcome in Mike Prisuta as we get ready to dissect and break down everything that happened. Some of it pretty bad, Mike. So let's start of how quickly the Colts were able to get things going right off the bat.
Yeah, nickel defense starting for the Steelers against a 3 wide receiver set, and Anthony Richardson play action, and he makes an aggressive throw down the field. There you see just behind Joey Porter, just in front of Minkah Fitzpatrick. Richardson's had a lot of turnover problems this year, but that did not stop him from coming out and being as aggressive as possible. And then they go to what we thought we were going to see all day long, Jonathan Taylor. Him running against the nickel is probably advantage Indianapolis. There's a quarterback draw. That worked as well. Colts came out with a plan and a purpose, and they kind of caught the Steelers flat-footed here at the outset, Missy.
Yeah, and you talked about Michael Pittman Jr. coming into this game through 3 games. He only had 11 catches for 88 yards, and he quickly surpassed that total in the first quarter alone. So moving on here, 7-0 still in the first quarter, and unfortunately the Colts, they're able to do it again.
Yeah, this time they're working against base, and same thing, they're able to find a spot in the zone, and then there's another Richardson run. There's one of those plays that Mike Tomlin was referencing. Ball's on the ground, had a shot to get it, and didn't get it. Those are the kind of things that can turn games early, and Steelers missing an opportunity there. Great play by Deshaun Elliott to hammer the ball out from behind, but you know, sometimes those things are hard to recover, Missy, especially when there's 4 or 5 guys diving at it.
Yeah, and this was the drive where Anthony Richardson was hurt. We saw him come back in. And then for the rest of the game, a familiar face for the Pittsburgh Steelers, eventually Joe Flacco taking over here on this drive.
Yeah, this is, I think, the play that knocked Richardson out. Minkah Fitzpatrick there with contact on the slide. And Richardson, you know, Mike Tomlin pointed out after the game, Joe Flacco is a more proficient passer than Anthony Richardson. He's obviously got a longer future than Joe Flacco in the league at this point of their 2 careers, but Flacco probably the better player right now, Missy.
And Flacco, someone very familiar with the Steelers defense. Here's what Cam Hayward had to say about the early struggles after the game.
You know, try to stay nickel and then run the ball, or you know, quick passes out to try to counteract our rush, but you got to force them into tougher situations. You know, 3rd and long is always an advantage for a defense, but we didn't take advantage of that.
All right, we're still in the first quarter here, but this is the point where the Steelers have lost James Daniels. And Triv, going into this game, we knew that there was some movement around the offensive line just to begin with Mason McCormick getting a start.
Yeah, so Spencer Anderson winds up at right guard. And here's a nice little bootleg drive starter to Pat Freiermuth, 2nd and 3, and you think you're on your way. Right now, here we are, 3rd and 2, 3 tight ends, and they get 1 yard, but not 2. And then Mike Tomlin opts for 4th down. Here's a replay of the Harris run on 3rd down. Mike Tomlin opting to go for it on 4th down. I like the decision to go for it. Not sure I'm in love with this formation they came up with in the Justin Fields keeper, and he doesn't get there.
No, definitely not a good one there, but still a lot of time. And then we're going to jump over to another drive that did not end the way that the Steelers really wanted to. And this is, you know, Cordero Patterson is still in the game at this point, and we're seeing him do things like this because who would want to tackle 84? Yeah,
he gets to speed as quick as he can, and then here you see Justin Fields kind of inventing a play to Patterson, and he just turns and starts running, and that's a big guy that somebody that's probably not as big as him is going to have to get in the way of and try to tackle. This looks like Georgia a few years ago. Remember studying Darnell Washington when he played for the Bulldogs, and he made a similar play along a sideline. And then here's the drive killer. George Pickens trying to get in the end zone, and somehow he fumbles that ball back into the field of play, battling the sideline. He shakes one tackle, but there's 2 or 3 other Colts defenders right there. And a golden opportunity to get some points got away from the Steelers there.
Yeah, self-inflicted wounds here. You see just a little over a minute to go in the first half. At this point, they're going to lose Cordero Patterson during this drive. And also, you know, being able to get the 3 points, great. But at the same time, missed opportunities, as you said, of getting 7. Yeah,
Justin Fields using his legs again to set up the field goal so they can get up and spike it. But the Steelers getting out of that half 17-3 down, and could have been a whole lot better than that, but it wasn't.
Yeah, let's take a look at the stats as we were through 2 quarters at this game. What's going through your mind, especially when you're looking at this?
The first thing that jumped out at me was the Colts' average time of possession per game the first 3 weeks, I believe, was 21 minutes and 36 seconds, and you see 15 there. Third downs, I think the Steelers' third down defense was 21.9%. Weeks 1 through 3. There you see 57% for Indianapolis. Just some really atypical stuff. The Steelers had given up 26 points in 3 games and 17 on the board for the Colts. It's just a complete reversal from what we saw the first 3 games. And I don't know about you, but from what I was expecting in this game.
Yeah, the Steelers won the toss. They deferred, so we knew they'd get the ball to start the second half. I want to say things got better, but Triv, starting off with this drive here, things did not. There was some good thanks to Calvin Austin and a nice return.
Yeah, they had some fun with this on the TV broadcast, on the CBS broadcast. Color analyst Adam Archuleta calling that the Matrix from Calvin Austin III. That set the Steelers up for another opportunity that they unfortunately were unable to cash. But look at this balance and body control here. That's good stuff.
Yeah, but as I said, you know, the good stuff then unfortunately starts to turn to the bad stuff. And here is one of the sacks that just, the lost yardage, I think, too, the field position that it put it in. For them and being able to not recover. Unfortunately, when the Colts did get the ball back, they were able to go for a field goal, and that was no good, so it was kind of a wash. But a lost opportunity, and you're also losing time at that point.
Big lost opportunity. The 3rd and 10 from the Indianapolis 33. They get it back there as after the missed field goal you referenced. Justin Fields able to improv a play to George Pickens, kind of holding the ball and drifting out of the pocket to his left, and then Pickens just finding a space here.
Yeah, good to see holding on to the ball and continuing. As you see here, Najee Harris, not so much an impact on the ground, but in the passing game, something without having Jalen Warren, we saw more of for 22.
Yeah, and then this one, I don't know if that was a design play or not, but Justin Fields saw an opportunity. I thought he used his legs better in this game than he had any time during the first 3, and maybe that's something they can build on.
All right, so we're still in the 3rd quarter here. Unfortunately, this is then going to head over to the 4th, but this is where Joe Flacco and Indy able to respond to the Steelers pulling within 7.
And another aggressive throw there. He's throwing the ball into coverage, trusting his guy to come down with it, and here they get a matchup, downs on Herbig, wide receiver on linebacker. You're not going to win that one too many times.
And a lot on that drive was 3rd and long, too, that they were able to convert. You went through just the stats in the first half on that in terms of what that was doing to kill them. And then right here, this touchdown, making it 24-10 and only, you know, less than 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's a coverage breakdown. The tight end, Drew Ogletree, initially chipped T.J. Watt. Looked like he was going to block, I guess, and then nobody picked him up in coverage. Here's the Najee Harris splash play of the day, just relentless attacking this screen pass and really trying to will the Steelers back into the game here.
Yeah, it looked like he got a little injured on that play. He went out for a second, came back in. The trainers and doctors didn't really look at him. But then we were able to see how this drive did end in a positive way. And I think at this point, Triv, you're starting to think, okay, there's still a chance if the defense can continue to lock things down as they had done a better job in the second half. Maybe this game ended differently, but that Justin Fields, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, that's a 24-17 score.
Yeah, it looks like read option. I think he's looking to throw initially, but when in doubt, Justin Fields letting his legs do the work. And then this was probably his best throw of the day, one-on-one. George Pickens down the left sideline against cornerback Jalen Jones, ball right where you need it to be, and the Steelers back in business.
Yeah, but at this point, it's a 10-point game. The Colts were able to get a field goal before heading into this drive, and then Pat Freiermuth getting his first touchdown of the season to pull it a little bit closer.
Yeah, another quick decision similar to the deep ball to Pickens a moment ago. A quick decision to find Freiermuth, rip it in there, and then Freiermuth able to do the rest.
All right, so the defense able to do what we've seen them do, get the ball back to Justin Fields and company. And what are you thinking here? They're gonna make it work?
You know, when they got this march started, you see the Fields keeper. That was a positive play. At this point, with that much time left and a timeout still to use, I'm thinking they don't have to settle for a field goal. They can probably get a touchdown and go ahead and win it in regulation. But the botch snap, Fields not expecting it. And then this play here, Najee Harris has got to get out of bounds there. He got out of bounds, but he was going backwards at the time. And that means the clock continues to run, and now you're rushing fourth down because you want to keep the timeout in case you do convert. You're going to have to stop the clock eventually and kick a field goal. And what was a really promising drive got away from the Steelers there. They really had a chance to steal that game at the end, I thought, Missi. But as Mike Tomlin said, too much sloppiness to achieve victory.
All right, let's take a listen to Justin Fields after the game about that botch snap.
We were going to the first leg kick, then Zach was IDing stuff. I felt the DBs rotating and changing the back end picture, so when he was IDing stuff, telling the O-line where to go, I was just trying to get that final picture before the snap came. So at the end of the day, it's on the first leg kick, so after I kick my leg, I got to be ready for the ball, no matter when it's going to come or not.
All right, and coming up next here on the Extra Point presented by Microsoft Surface, we'll have a chance to hear from Arthur Moats. Don't go anywhere. We'll hear from number 55 and also get Trib's final thoughts when we return.
Hi, folks. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Honor Museum.
Now this is the best era.
I couldn't agree more. Those teams were unstoppable.
The teams were really good in the 90s.
Come on, you couldn't catch those teams of the 2000s. Literally.
The 70s were the best.
No way, the 2000s.
Whoa, stop fighting. I think every era was pretty sweet.
You said it, kid. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves.
Wait, you're T?
Welcome back, everyone. As promised, former Steelers JMU Hall of Famer Arthur Moats kind enough to join us to go over the Steelers' first loss of the season happening in Indy to the Colts. And Moats, take me through what the Colts did so well to make life difficult for the Steelers' defense yesterday.
Yeah, I thought it was a mix of a couple of things. I thought, number one, they came out with a lot more physicality, especially on that opening drive. I thought that they were really trying to take the fight to us. I thought the next thing, though, that in a weird way hurt us was Anthony Richardson going out. You prepare all week for this very dynamic, but more importantly, more of a dual threat run-first quarterback who has struggled multiple times with throwing the ball, and then you switch that out for a Joe Flacco who, if he's given time, has a high-level ability still at this age to be able to take advantage of some of those differences when we're talking zone defense versus man-to-man. I mean, I thought it was a little bit of that, and then you have the perfect storm. An injury or two at the wrong time, a couple of missed assignments at the wrong time, and now you find yourself down multiple scores to a Colts team who, on paper, should not have been able to have a lead, let alone come out on top of the victory.
Yeah, they were without 6 of their starters just heading into the game. In terms of the Steelers' offense, the slow starts, that seems to be what everyone's kind of pinpointing where things went wrong. But as you said, the Colts jumped out to a 14-0 lead very quickly. For the Steelers' offense, why did it take them so long to be able to have chances to get into the end zone?
Yeah, I thought watching them early on, it was, number one, we couldn't really sustain any type of run drive. So with that, we were getting a little bit more one-dimensional. I would also say in the first half, we struggled to just get a good amount of snaps. we weren't having a ton of time on that field because on the flip side, you were getting 8-play, 10-play drives from the Colts as they were going on their having their success early on. But I felt like after, it was like that last drive prior to halftime, we get a couple of, positive plays. We end up getting the field goal. And I thought from there, that's when we kind of caught up to what the Colts were trying to do. But more importantly, I thought that's when we also, from an offensive line standpoint, started to match the physicality that the Colts were playing with. And that provided Justin with a little bit more time. And we also saw an uptick from a running standpoint in terms of Cordell Patterson being able to have some success and Najee making some timely plays as well.
But then CP got hurt. He wasn't able to go for the rest of the game. First loss of the season. During the commercial break, you were saying 24-hour rule. What's the biggest thing this team, this young team and experienced team, especially on offense, needs to take away as they look forward to the Cowboys and Sunday Night Football?
Yeah, when we talk about that 24-hour rule, we understand. We're saying regardless if you have a great performance or if it's a bad performance, 24 hours is what you allow yourself in the sense of being able to sulk in it one way or the other. And then from there, you have to turn the page because we know we have another opponent coming in and they do not care that we stumbled against the Colts. They're going to come in here and try to beat us because they're trying to get back on schedule. And we have to understand that each and every week. But more importantly, with the group like this team is right now, where you do have some youth, but a nice blend of veterans, you're also understanding when we watch this tape, we have to be super critical of ourselves because we left plays out there. Defensively, we had multiple opportunities to create turnovers, to keep points off the board. And then on the flip side, offensively, we had a little bit too many mishaps that unfortunately took points off the board. And then at the end of the game, when we're trying to, complete the comeback, those same issues kind of came back to bite us in the butt. So I look at it that way. And I say that has to be the messaging this week for those guys. But that's the 24-hour rule. And I think that they understand that.
All right, Moats, we appreciate your time as always. Thanks. I'm sure we'll catch up with you later in the season. We'll be right back. Mike Prisuta's final thoughts coming right up.
Want to get gear direct from the team? Shop all things black and gold at the official Steelers Pro Shop located at Acrisure Stadium. Get the latest sideline apparel and hats, jerseys of your favorite players, authentic memorabilia, custom gear, and exclusives you can only find here. Don't forget, you aren't game day ready without a terrible towel. The Steelers Pro Shop has everything you need to be part of the legendary Steelers Nation. Come experience the Acrisure Stadium shopping environment or shop online at shop.steelers.com.
Flacco back to pass, looking left, throws towards the end zone, and nearly intercepted by Joey Porter Jr. Looked for a moment like Pittman might have it, then looked like for another moment like Porter might have it.
Well, you got in the back of the end zone a great play by Joey Porter coming across. Certainly that's something that Joey's going to look at and go, oh, man, I owe him one.
And Mike, that seems to be the theme of this loss, the Steelers' first of the season to the Colts. Missed opportunities, self-inflicted wounds. There's so many cliches you can use, but they're all very true.
They are without question. And really, I think the frustrating part is all of that was the case, and they still had a chance to win the game. And maybe the worst of the self-inflicted wounds was probably the snap fiasco, right? Because the defense has nothing to do with that. You're in a great position, and then you take yourself out of a great position and put yourself in a really hard position to deal with, and that's how it ended. Maybe appropriate, but given the way the game played out, but certainly opportunity lost in Indianapolis yesterday.
What did you make of Justin Fields in terms of what he was able to do in this fourth game?
I thought it was another step forward, but it was interesting. I do the post-game show on the Steelers Audio Network, and I was sitting in the studio with Charlie Batch. And after they scored to close within 3, we both started talking and expressing our hope that the defense would get a stop because we wanted to see what Justin Fields would do with that opportunity to drive the ball against the defense and the clock, and see if he could get the game tied or get the game won. And it kind of got off to a good start, but you can't give it an A or an F. You kind of give it an incomplete because of the way things played out.
Yep, unfortunate, but the good news is there's another game coming up on Sunday. The Dallas Cowboys will come to town for a primetime matchup. Thanks everybody at home for watching. Thanks to Triv and Arthur Moats for joining me. We'll see everybody back here next Monday for the Extra Point presented by Microsoft Surface.